good mom. That's amazing.
Yeah, she's awesome.
That's so. I am very close to my
Awesome.
family. I absolutely love family. Okay, so I'm
Yeah,
back
me too.
up. But I think there's a new.
I
So
think I
here.
grabbed everything. I hope I grabbed everything.
All right, so there is the link to the stream. I think that one's good.
Is this a part 2 or?
Well, I'm not sure if it's the same or if it relinked to this. You know what I mean? YouTube's not like Twitch. Twitch, it just goes right back to the same stream.
Oh yeah, you can like pause the stream.
Yeah, this on YouTube though, that's not how it is. So I don't know if
No,
this
YouTube.
is the same one or if this is a new one. That's why I just sent you the link. But anyway, we are back to being live. And
Heck yeah.
hopefully the people can make it back to us if they get to the right link. So here we are. Are you on your way to work? Is that what's happening?
Yep. So I'm on the
In your
journey to
pocket?
work. It's pretty close to my house, so I just hoof it. Give my
Yeah.
old
Oh,
man exercise.
I love that. So I don't remember where we left off. Let's see if I can get my stoner brain cells working again. So we talked
Hey,
about
same here.
your home growing and your guru that got you into growing. How long of a
GG.
process was this? Like how long from being introduced to like growing your own plants to now you're basically becoming this internet pot growing empire? I mean, the foundation
I
is
appreciate
here.
you, man. So I to back up a little bit. I actually I work in the industry at a couple bigger outdoor farms.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, before I actually tried growing in my house, you know what I mean, or at home, I should say,
Okay.
even outdoors. So yeah, so I worked for a place called Conscious Cultivators, as a bushman. Hard work, man. I mean, it's like people, oh, I just grow weed, man. No, you're
No way.
moving 1,000 plants in a day or transplanting like that, that much outdoors in the heat of summer. Whew, it's a
Yeah.
task, man. I tell you
Because it's
what,
all by
you lose
hand.
that dad bod pretty quick. Like I did. I lost it in like, oh man. I came
Yeah.
back, of course, but you know,
The munchies. I
but
get
yeah,
it.
dude, working out there was a fun experience. And then like the second or third season, my oldest son was old enough to work out there, so he got his first season. It was kind of fun, man. It was really cool. Working out there with him. And then from
Yeah.
there, I just kind of, bought a tent, like I said, and pursued indoor growth. I grew 4 plants outside that
Mm-hmm.
first season and just let them grow, man. I just, clones
Yeah.
from work, put them in the ground, watched them grow. Didn't do anything.
Nothing.
It
No
was fun.
fertilizer, seaweed, none of that stuff,
Well,
huh?
no, I had no clue what I was doing.
Huh.
I had absolutely.
And how did those first plants do?
They were monstrous plants. They were outside like big plants, I made probably a lot of rookie errors, man.
Yeah.
But it was a fun process. It was really cool to just, sorry about the traffic sounds. I
Hey, don't
apologize,
even
man.
hear them. You're good.
Uh, I'll try to counter it.
Oh, you're fine. We can't hear it, at least if that makes you feel better.
Okay, cool. Stoner
Oh, the
mind.
trucker's honking at your ass.
So yeah, I just kind of, grew the 4 plants, that clones I had gotten from work that were offered to me. And man, it was kind of fun. Like I said, good yield, nice big plump plants. I made like a lot of mistakes, man.
Yeah. What are some?
But whatever, it's a learning process.
What's the biggest
You know?
lesson from the 4 first plants that you remember?
What's that?
What's the biggest thing you remember from like, oh, I was so dumb back then with those first plants?
Man, the watering probably. The watering being like one of the easiest ways to mess your plants up.
Really? Okay.
It was really hard to dial in watering for some reason. I honestly took these clones and I bought a bag of Roots Organic and opened the bag and planted the plant in the bag. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was like, yeah, that's what I did for all of them. I just put them in a bag of soil and let them grow.
Okay. So what was the hard? So obviously too much, too little water. So were you just constantly doing one or the other?
Yeah, I didn't feed them at all. I didn't give them any like any
Nutrient.
food. I had no clue how to do that.
Yeah.
At work, it was a different story. We would get, mixed teas and feed the monsters there, like 5-gallon buckets of food. So it was like, like a whole different story. I was not aware of how to do it, but
So even
it still turned out really well, man. It worked out really good, and I got a great harvest, and it was fun. It was like an experience, and
yeah.
it got me hooked on growing. Oh,
So how much did you get from those first? Like, so quantity wise, it sounds like they grew like trees.
yeah, they got pretty big, especially the ice cream cake. It took forever to finish.
Uh-huh.
Like I had 2 ice cream cakes, and oh man, one was a house. That thing was big. To my standards, I'm a small person, you know.
Yeah. Hey,
But like it was a big old plant, and I ended up getting quite a bit off of it. I think I got like 3.5 pounds off of all those plants. No, it was like 2.5 pounds.
wow. And
I
so
don't
for
know.
me,
Yeah,
that's an
something like that.
enormous amount. Is that a lot? Like from a
Well, yeah,
professional
they were
grower
like plants
standpoint?
that grew for like they vegged, like the long veg, and like sat outside the whole summer. And
Oh, I just
yeah,
remembered where we
so
that's what got us into this. So new growers have you have weed in like a month and a half, and the rest of us, it takes half the year. That's what started this whole thing with my first grow story. So is that what
going like
ties
perpetual
in?
and like shake and bake. Yeah,
Yeah. So what is
for
it
sure.
about the people who don't know what the hell they're doing that makes the plants take so much longer to grow or to flower or to whatever until we can smoke them?
Messing with your plant, doing too much to your plant, and just doing like extra things that don't need to be done. You know what I mean? That's a common error, man. Like, and it slows the plant growth down. Misaligning the watering. If you overwater, you're gonna hurt your plant. If you underwater, you still hurt your plant, but it's not gonna be as bad as if you overwater.
Yeah.
That could be life ending for the plant. You know,
Hmm.
just
Interesting.
overcorrecting, like same way a person could like do such on an icy road.
Yeah.
You see that a lot.
So
You
they
know.
just hyper obsess about every like because that's me, right? Like every day we check on Stony just to make sure she's doing okay. Just like, oh man, it's a little yellow, or oh boy, it's a little this. And it's, so is just constantly
Well,
interfering with it
making
growing.
making moves with the plants or changes is a big thing. But like checking on your plant, man, I love hanging out with my plants. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. I'll just sit there and
Yeah.
hang out with them.
Talk
Like,
to
hey,
them,
how you
sing
doing?
to
Yeah.
them.
But like, just doing different things to the plant, or like, just picking a path with it, you know, and sticking to that path is like my biggest suggestion. Making everything simple, especially for the first grows. I'm just now changing my nutrients. Like picking a
Hmm.
different path for nutrients, as in like I'm going to be running like something called Athena now, whereas I ran a simple 3-part with a CalMag. I'm just kind of changing it up, man. Like, I
Yeah.
just do the same thing over and over again. That way you can like pinpoint your
Where you,
strengths,
yeah.
like what you're good at.
Huh.
I like to train, that's my thing.
You like to
Training
train the
plants.
plant. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Oh,
So
yeah.
where's the love come from? Like you said, after that first grow, you were absolutely hooked on the process. So what about it? What makes you go, man, this is just the greatest thing in the world?
Shit. So being like like a stoner, quote unquote, or somebody who smokes for all these years, uh, and then finally like growing a plant to fruition and like smoking that, you know, I don't even know if I could go back and be like, I wonder how it tasted compared to now.
Oh
It
man.
just, but for me, it was so good. It
Yeah.
was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, this is like and I know it wasn't the best weed in the world, but for me, it was like, this is the best weed in the world.
Yeah. Is that
Like,
better than
and then to
anything
have
I've
like my
bought from
family and
anybody?
friends be like, man, that's really good. Like,
Yeah.
it was like encouraging, and you just kind of like, I got hyped on it. And then, man, then just growing in the tent after that, like, there was a lot of, learning experiences, things like that. But just to be able to like continuously grow, and sometimes it takes me a while to get a whole, like I've taken growcations where I stopped growing,
Yeah.
things like that. Uh,
Brocation.
so like a good example of somebody who's actually really perpetual is our second host over there, like on the Happy Cultivator channel, and he runs his own thing, Hills Grows. This guy is harvesting every 8 weeks, man, in his
Holy
tent. He has,
shnikes. What?
yeah,
From the
yes.
same
He's
plant or
still
from new
trimming
plants?
while he's about to harvest. He's in trim jail, like when he's
Wow.
about to harvest again. He's a phenomenal grower, man. Like just,
Wow.
you know what I mean?
That's
Yeah, great
amazing.
example.
Huh.
And yeah, man, yeah, he's a great dude. Hills Grows took them out.
So
But
did the community come before the love, or did the love come from, like, was the love enhanced by the community? Like, in terms of, as
yes,
you already,
yes,
yeah.
it was the flavor enhancement. Yeah,
Oh, that
it
is
really was, man.
amazing. Huh.
It was just like icing on the cake to be able to, hang out with all these cool people that have the same passion for the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
very
you
cool,
were
man.
in
From
the
all different
grow
levels too.
field.
I've met some really cool people, man. Like some great people
Yeah.
out there.
And then what is it is, so you were in the fields, busting your back. Do you still do any of that type of work, or are you more in the dispensary side?
So I've been, I was hired for production at REO, and I kind of I like to bud tend, man. It doesn't feel like work to me. It feels like fun, and like the old saying,
Yeah,
if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
true that.
Well,
True
yeah,
that.
it doesn't feel like work, man. Like it really
Hmm.
doesn't. So I kind of do both. I'll work on the production side, and then I'll work on the bud tender side too. It is
Hmm.
super fun, man. It's like a mellow vibe all
Yeah.
the time.
We
Yeah,
love our
I'm
bud
actually almost
tenders.
there.
Having people to talk
Oh
to,
man,
especially as a newbie, because when we first went in, we were old. I was old. I was in some young teenager. I had questions, like an old man who has questions. And our bud tender was just so good to us. Explained it, showed us what to look for good weed versus bad weed. And it was just a true passion that the person had. So
see, yes,
man, I respect that so much.
to tell a customer like, oh, here's some good stuff right here, smoke that, or
Mm-hmm.
to actually just be able to be like, hey man, I would recommend this for this reason. It's
Yes.
a
And you
kind of
actually
fun, man.
smoke it, because we don't respect the bud
Yeah,
tenders who's like, well, I don't smoke it. It's like, well, how are you recommending this to me then? You don't even know if it's good
right.
weed, you know?
And then like talking to like my boss and stuff, like he says that kind of stuff. He's like, you're able to, you like this because you like the products, you like
Yep.
what you're smoking and doing. So it's not even like you're a salesman. You're just
Mm.
recommending what you like. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like it makes it unlike a job. It's just like one of those fun kind of like interactions
Mm.
where it's hard for me to get the person out of the door. I don't want to because I just want to
Yeah.
keep talking to them. People will pull
Huh.
their phones out, show their grows, hang
No
out.
kidding.
It's kind of neat.
Ah, that's great. Huh. So how long have you been doing that for? Like being a bud tender and getting kind of face to face with fellow smokers?
For like the last 6 or 7 months,
Oh,
I
right
believe.
on. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
And we're starting now finally to get like production under, like a good geyser, and it's starting to go well, and we're, like 4 weeks to harvest, so it's going pretty good there.
Yeah. So do you do a
Yeah.
combination of, uh, is this place, sorry, what is REO?
Rare Earth Organic
Okay, rare earth
Dispensary.
again. So is they grow all their own stuff, or do they just have specific strains that are
Well,
theirs that you're part of?
yeah, we like to grow our own, but there's so much in the market. Like,
Hmm.
so like vendors come through like on the weekly, daily at times, offering up products, like that range from
Oh,
indoor to outdoor at the prices that are just like would blow your mind.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
man.
So we do buy a lot of product on net and things like that. Uh, but but yeah, we like to bring our own product in, and our own product, honestly, like our Hindu Kush is like one of our best sellers, and our purple Hindu Kush
Yeah.
because we grow it in house. People love it. It tastes great.
Hmm.
So we do a lot of pre rolls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
So now I kind of talk about the production side first. Sounds like you just got into work. I'm guessing. I
yep,
heard
I'm
a
like minutes away.
shift in the technology. On the production side of it, talk to me about that a little bit. So, is it one day you're a bud tender, another day you're production, or do you kind of shift between based off of needs?
I've kind of shifted into like what's going on. So, I kind of like I can lock everything up and head over to production and kind of monitor with the cameras what's going on. If somebody walks in the door and just run over there and go deal with that, and
Yeah,
then go back
yeah,
to transplanting or whatever I was doing. So I'm kind of like learning to like bounce back and forth between the
hmm,
two, you
yeah.
know.
So, I
But
mean,
bud
how
tending
big of
is
an
fun, man.
operation?
Woo.
How big of an
What's
operation
that?
are we talking here? Like
It's a
you?
dispensary with like a production like around it kind of.
Okay.
There's like specific laws about like micro production, and you have to make sure everything's blacked out, visible to the
Hmm.
public, yada yada. We
Hide the
follow
shade.
like every code to to par
Yeah,
everything.
that is so
Yeah,
slick.
yeah.
So how does the social media tie into that? So are there any governances on, obviously, like, rated M for mature, but outside of that, have you had any issues with YouTube doing your show?
They haven't like got. You mean like live from the dispensary kind of
Or
thing?
just, yeah, so live
Like
from the dispensary, live showing cannabis, any of that?
yeah, well, they if they see flower or anything like that, then they hit me with the mature. But I
Okay.
usually put it on before they even ask for it. As far as the dispensary goes, like they haven't had any issues with it. We live in a legal state. We're not doing
Yeah.
anything illegal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To our state level. So there's, we hold it by the books, pay our
That's so
taxes,
cool.
do everything correctly. So that they've stayed off of our case. YouTube hasn't said anything about it,
Yeah.
and like I said, we don't advertise that you can buy anything,
Oh,
on our
yeah.
channels or anything. It's not like that. So
Hmm.
they're pretty cool about it so far. You know, uh, so far.
So far.
Who knows?
Well, I mean, you keep minding your P's and Q's. I mean, the best you can do is follow the laws that you currently know of, right?
I've appealed any infractions I've had. I've appealed it and won the the
Oh, right
appeals.
on. Do you mind me
The
asking what type of infractions have they hit you with?
so somebody reported one of my videos. I think it was like somebody who had an issue with
Mhm.
the channel or with somebody associated with the channel. So they reported the video. They took the video down and they said, this isn't a strike, but this is like a warning.
Yep.
So and it was something about soliciting drugs or something. I'm like, oh no, man. I was really cool about it. I'm like, the video clips that you saw were already on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was clips from like another video that had been on YouTube for like 7 years. So they were like, oh, you're right, man. We apologize. No problem. And
Hmm.
put it back up.
That's pretty slick. So I got one of those too, and I had the same argument, and mine didn't get put back up. I was reviewing a I Love Lucy 2-minute skit, and it's been my first and only warning the whole time, and it won't go away. Crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Don't fuck around with I Love Lucy. They will get you. They'll nail you to the cross for that one. So,
Right on, man.
or it could have been because I talked a lot of crap in my appeal. Very, very sarcastic. And then I posted a video of me being sarcastic on my channel. So it makes sense. The attitude might have been my issue. You got to kiss the ring, you could say. The holy affection of the ring of YouTube. Oh, okay. Are we about to get a tour?
Yeah. So.
One sec. Let me
Cool.
get you pulled up. Boom. All right. We have fixed the connection. Cultivator.
Yeah. So we're right here. We're in production. I guess I take it in here.
Okay. Here we go. Welcome to REO, Rare or Earth Organics. We're getting the tour. Let's go.
I hit my head.
Tell us all about it, man. Don't leave any details out.
So this right now is a run of Hindu Kush that's being finished off by a buddy of ours, and the manager or whatever. But we, Chad and I came in and we put the nets on ourselves and just kind of like tried to do some training. The objective was to try and bring some of these branches up, get as many colas going up as we could, towards the light.
Yeah.
Yada yada. We did. So now we're just waiting it out, just letting them grow it. Then we're gonna finish this out and do something else in here. New lights, everything.
What's the point of training? Talk to me like I'm an idiot.
The point of training, in my opinion, and this is what I was taught by Hemp with Gigi, is to bring and grow boss, is to try and like what we do. If you just grow a plant up, like and such, like you're gonna get one apical cola on the plant. Okay, like you're just gonna get one bud and some stuff down here. It's gonna look somewhat like a noble Christmas tree, if you will. If you do training, if you trick the plant doing things like topping it, you know what I mean? Like the first topping, for instance, starts to branch out. Those top branches start to go because there's nothing else on the plant that could grow. So after the first topping, that gives the plant direction, and then you start your training there, low stress training, whatever you want to do, and then you can top again, and that's gonna, like if you will, like fractal the plant out again. You know what I mean? So what we're trying to do is trick the plant into thinking that it has multiple apical tops instead of just one, because everything on the plant will grow at the same level, if that makes sense. These are colas. I know it's weird, sorry.
No, I
but if
can
we
see
can
the
trick the
colas.
plant into doing this as opposed to this, we'll get far more, right?
But okay, and you get more than. So basically, if you were to just have the singular one, you get less yield for the exact same amount of effort.
Right, because you're going
Gotcha.
for one apical cola or 20.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
You think it
That's
would
the whole
make
thing.
it smaller, right? Like you would think it would just grow the same amount in the same amount of time, but that's the whole point of what you do.
Right.
Oh man,
Here,
I love
people here.
shops. I love shops. Just
Show you the
people
other
working,
side.
man. Nice Jeep. Okay,
Hey, you want me to swap this?
it's a good tire right there. I think they got a couple years left. Red. Ooh, red. You know, red brake pads work better. Remember that.
All right, so here's the dispensary side.
Mini split. Love it. Ooh, is
Everybody
that
has to
yours?
have their,
Did you draw
their
that?
octa elephant.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Okay. Pumpkin. Love it. Ooh, I love that stool
Secret cut.
too. That's a cool. Who's the artist?
Super secret cut. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome
y'all.
to Rare Earth Dispensary.
It's a pleasure to be here. I think all stoner shops.
Sorry about the music. Shit.
Can't even hear it.
Apologies. Okay, cool. Here, let me turn that off so you don't get that.
Because if it does come through, the DMCA is pretty sweet. But it's, I mean, yeah, I appreciate that. Unless it's Afro Man's newest album, I send it back.
Boom. Audio disabled.
Beautiful.
So yeah, this is the bud tender side of my job.
Yeah.
You know, all the
look at
flour,
all that.
that portion, weighing stuff up, tinctures,
Okay.
pre-rolls, all that. Computer not on.
Computer noises. Love it. That's the streaming computer.
Yeah, look at this thing. Ancient, right?
Yeah. Windows 95 coming in hot.
Hot.
Okay.
It's not working.
Good start to the day.
Work.
So you show up for the day. I'm assuming you clock in and then you have your duties and responsibilities. I mean, one thing I am curious about. So because of the size of the operation and your responsibilities, I mean, it sounds to me like you're an integral part of the growth of this business. I mean, how hand in hand are you working with this company?
Oh man, good buddies with the owner and enjoying the energy of wanting to pivot towards something new, something great. He's an amazing entrepreneur, if you will, and lots of good energy, man, and lots of room for growth. Like I just keep looking him in his eye and being like, listen, man, I just want to grow the best weed in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
that's so
please,
good.
Put your boy Happy in the position to grow the best weed in the world. You know what I mean? Like yeah. So we have high aspirations for big things, man. And both a driven passion to make this flourish.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I told him the other day, I was like, I would like to provide a day off for you, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, have you had one of those in a decade? And he's like, man, I don't think I have. That's crazy. Yeah, you're right.
Wow.
I haven't had a day off. Like,
well, as long as he's still happy. Oh, safe mode. That's good. We are on Windows 95. That's beautiful.
Yeah, bro. We don't mess around here. We go for the old shit.
Can you elaborate on how nice? Hey, we're running at 12 frames per second. Can you elaborate if you're not NDA'd out of your mind on how you guys are revolutionizing certain things? Like, how are you working towards making the best weed that's ever been grown in the world?
A lot of love, a lot of passion, man, and just hoping for the best. It does start with simple stuff of being able to understand the way the plant grows and all that. But I mean, there's so many different aspects of like genetics, even what is the best weed in the world. When I say that, I guess I say it in a generic form that any seed that I grow, I want it to be the best possible, or any strain I grow, I want it to be the best it could be. And I just want to learn how to do that. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I'm a firm believer that many people can hold the same, seed or the same cut or the same clone and get a completely different, outcome.
True.
From it. Oh, it's
imagine
Vista,
you
bro.
and me trying to grow the Vista. Hey, I got love for Vista. It took a bad rap. There's the pocket sandwich. Everything's coming together full circle.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting this going. Yeah.
Because I started with the idea of, you're back there in a lab coat and you're splicing together different types of weed to make new weed. I mean, are you guys doing any type of that or anything like that?
Like no, man, I'm not a breeder. Me
No. Oh,
personally, I'm
so
not into that. I
okay.
want to get other people's like what they did, and I want to grow that to the
Okay.
best it could possibly grow in my, for me. You know,
Gotcha. Have you dabbled at all in any types of breeding, or can you at least tell us what breeding is
the
about?
closest I got to breeding. So if we reach back to that first outdoor grow that I was telling you about,
Uh-huh.
uh, one day I got off work and my boss was messing with some Moby Dick pollen, right? That
Hey,
sounds
sounds
funny,
stinky.
but he was.
Yeah.
It was a strain. So he brought some of that pollen and he went and he touched one of the colas that I had, right about 4 weeks from finish, which was the perfect amount of time to incubate 4 seeds that he touched, like 4 different pollen
Okay.
spots on the nug. So I ended up with a cultivar that I call the Happy Kush.
Huh.
I grew it one time because it's a
Okay.
bag seed and it's basically regular, but man, it was delicious. That's the closest I've came to breeding, and it wasn't even my fault.
It was
You know what I mean?
accidental breeding. Interesting. So when
Yeah.
it came, how come you only grew it one time? Just out of like
Just because I had like 2 seeds, my son found like I think he found one, kept it for himself, and then had 2 more.
okay.
Uh,
Oh,
yeah.
so
So
the Happy Kush was a rare treat for this world that
I
only few
have
got
one
exposed.
left, and it could turn out to be a male. We don't know,
And
but if it's a female, I'm gonna clone the heck out of it.
quick question with that. So when it comes to male and female, both are smokable, correct? Like they'll both. The only difference between the two, for the
No,
most part, is
no, no,
seeds
no,
and
not at
not
all.
seeds. All
The
right,
male plant
talk to
just
me.
makes pollen.
Oh,
Yeah,
no weed at all.
male just makes pollen,
Okay,
and then it seeds your plant. And you can even have female plants that hermaphrodite, and part of the plant will grow pollen sacs, where the rest of it will grow buds. You know
interesting.
what I mean? But yeah,
I
you
don't,
don't want
but
to smoke the pollen. No, no.
so how do you know? Is it very obvious the difference between male and female plants? Do you have an example? Oh, hello. So male looks like wheat. I mean,
Yeah, it looks like that. The female genetics will look
looks like
that.
testes. On the seed, you mean? What are we looking at? I'm not understanding. So I see a
Wait, this
seed
look
here.
a calyx. I think is what they're called, and they'll be the first sign that'll come up. You'll see these little hairs come out.
Okay.
Whereas the male plant will develop something more like, unless a banana.
Oh,
It'll develop something more like that.
is that when it's mature?
Yeah, that's when it's starting to mature out. Oh, okay, there. Is that a nanner? It might
I
be a
s-
nanner. Okay, sorry with the camera work.
Not sure. So I see.
But so that's what we're looking for. That is what a male flowered plant will look, or if you want to call it flowered. That's a blossomed male plant.
Interesting.
It,
So you
it
really
doesn't produce the bud.
can you not tell until it flowers?
I mean, you can see traits. I'm not the best at that,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
yeah, you can definitely see traits.
So we've established that you're a loving bud tender who doesn't work a day in his life. What is the
Right.
things when you're working? What part? Um, I guess you might have answered this, but what part keeps you coming back? Right? Like, is it new? Is it similar? Like, I guess ultimately what I'm trying to get at is what about growing and doing what you do makes it so that you're not working?
So, I mean, not just the production of the flower, and then having people be like, "Man, I really like that. That's amazing. I appreciate it." Like my mom holds on to hers like gold. She still has some from her last harvest, I believe, which is
Yeah.
amazing to me because, yeah. But that kind of stuff is like to me is amazing that she sees it as something that's so valuable, and it doesn't relate, that she holds it at a different standard than like dispensary weed or farm grown weed.
Oh, that's great.
And I think one of the things that like separates us home growers from that is that it could be, like the attention to detail. We're growing less. It could be part of the curing as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of different aspects that may. Okay, I pushed the right number. Sorry about that.
Hey, you're good. I'm making sure you're not showing anything you're
Oh,
not
no, no,
supposed
no.
to. It looks good.
No, we're good.
Two white hairs, female. Anything else, garbage. So is male
Uh,
hemp then? What's
and
the
there's always like the point of reference to of like being able to ask other people, in the community and stuff, which is pretty cool.
yeah?
Shit,
Man,
did I just zero out the day? I might have.
by restarting the computer.
Oh well. I'll take it. But yeah, so this is like a little virtual tour.
Yeah. Look at all those chickens. Man, that is a lot.
Different kinds of top shelf flower that we have right now. So OGKB, I think it's Oregon Green Killer Bud. I might be wrong. Animal Sorbet, Mac 1, Grape Cream Cake, Jelonade, out of the Gary Payton, Gorilla Breath, Kerosene. So one of the cool things too, man, is the customer base that we have here is really vast. You know, like we have people ranging from young folk that have just turned of age to elderly. You know, or vets that come in here, and we honor a 25% discount
That's
to
awesome.
vets. It's the highest discount we give.
Wow.
You know, we honor here, and then wisdom underneath that. But it's kind of cool, man, to see returning customers like come in and, you know, just being able to utilize like the memory of like what they got last time. Like, okay, this guy ordered these, you know, he bought pre-rolls, so be sure to ask him how they were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's fun, man. It's really cool and interactive.
So you're really
And,
a people person, aren't you? You enjoy
I enjoy this,
spreading
man.
joy,
I really
huh?
do. I don't like customer service. So that's the weird thing, Marcus, is like,
Yeah.
I'm not a customer service guy. So,
Interesting.
you know
But
what I
this
mean?
isn't customer service.
Right. And this is like direct customer service, you know,
Huh.
it's purest form. So,
Maybe it's because these customers are coming to you for something you love. And that's why it's not, because you're
yeah,
actually servicing the customer. You're not just
man. And it's like,
doing
even
retail.
if somebody comes in a bad mood, it's like, you're like, oh man, I think I could find something to resolve that for you. You know, like you ask a person, how's your day? Oh, it's going crappy, man. Oh, well, cool. Let's see what we got to help that
Yeah.
along. You
Huh.
know, like it's kind of neat, man.
That's
Even
so,
from that aspect, you get a grumpy customer, and it's like I guarantee they're smiling before they walk out the door.
wow.
You know, like almost every time.
I mean, have you ever tried to
Yeah.
frown on a jet ski? I mean, I imagine
Right.
it's just
How
as
could you do
hard
that?
to do it leaving here. So is any more of
Exactly.
your operation you would mind sharing with the people? I mean, we got a quick
This is
glimpse
like
of that grow room.
Yeah, that's there was like we had some guys in there doing production right now, so I just didn't. I was trying to be
No,
careful of their privacy, but yeah, they were just doing their thing. But yeah, so I figured. Plus, I had to clock in over here. It's my I'm bud tending today. I believe I'll
right
be
on.
closing.
Do you guys have any pipes or glass that you sell?
Oh, we actually it was weird. We had a lot of glass for a while, and like people just came through and like bought it up.
Oh,
Right. So
yeah.
our glass selection, we're looking to get more, but we have this little row of pipes right now.
Oh, little pecker pipes. I'm more of a Sherlock guy
Yeah.
myself. You know,
Yeah, same. Oh,
yeah,
big
I
time
like
same.
the big pipe. It's more of a pain to clean and yada yada. Don't care. It's easier to hold my hand. Huh?
These things are insane.
Is that a tincture or a drink?
Yeah. Yeah, I drank half of one of these on a live last week or a week and a half ago. It was a mistake.
It was a mistake, he says.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was all hyper before it. I drank that and I'm like, didn't say a word for 30 minutes. I was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I would,
Big time.
if you don't mind, I got a question for you. That's a little bit of out of left field. So hang on to your neck for whiplash. I'm really curious, as your opinion, as what I love to call like a successful stoner. That's for the joke, but a successful person who ultimately doesn't fit the narrative of, oh, look at this guy who smoked weed since he was in high school, you know, going to grow up to be a loser. So essentially proving all of the stereotypes of weed wrong. What do you think why is that? Right? Because you, just like me, know stoners who fit that perfectly. What do you think it is about you that made you want to be so successful while still being a daily smoker?
1 second, good sir, and I'll answer that. I have a customer.
Oh, all right.
1 second.
No worries. Well,
How are you doing, good sir?
cliffhanger.
Oh, excellent. What can I get for you today? Oh, we dabbed here.
We will,
All right.
we'll give him just a pinch of privacy so that person doesn't have to have their voice on the microphone. But man, I can tell you, for anybody hanging out, listen to this interview, I do appreciate it. You know, we've had some technical difficulties, kind of a pain in the butt. But small tubes, Exner's, Zane, Strain, wife, all of everybody else. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And it's been a pleasure to keep getting to talk to the Happy Cultivator, man. I really have enjoyed it. But yeah, it's are you guys having fun? If you got questions or anything, feel free to put them in chat. I see them. If you do, and this is great. It's taken a long time for me and him to get this show together. So it's nice to be able to sit down and finally hear about the cultivator and what makes him tick, you know? So, what else going on? Anything? Great show, great questions. I'm glad to be here. Cheers. Yo, Zane, what a legend, man. Seriously, Exner, you too. Yes, chillin'. My heart grows happy. I really does. I love to get to know new people. I love to find out what makes them happy, what motivates them, what got them on the path that they're in. You know, there's so much complexity. Oh, he's back. All right. He is back, my friends. Well,
it's pretty good. I used to work at a farm, actually. I haven't tried all of them, but they would reduce to 25.
What? I think he's talking to someone else.
Which one we good? I tried the Crater Lake,
and
that's the only one I've tried so far. I've heard something else. Well, I'll take a look at it. Yeah.
Hang on to your butts.
This is live rosin too, so it's gonna be a little different than
I do love doing
it's not gonna be a
they really are fun. Because when you get the opportunity to actually meet somebody and learn who they are as a person, your life will probably be a lot better. You know, you only get to meet so many people in your life. Even if every single day you met a couple new people, you'd never to truly be able to become friends with them. So anytime you get to have an in-depth conversation with such a cool person like this, yo, it's just amazing. That's why I recommend doing it as much as you can. If you meet cool people, talk to them. Live rosin FTW.
Haven't tried this one yet?
I know two of those words. I know live and FTW. Rosin left. You lost me on the rosin. Did you mean resin? Live resin?
Just count today. 45.
Same here. Love meeting new people and picking their brains, especially everyone in this community. They welcomed everyone with open arms and are super knowledgeable and cool. I'm going to sub after this. Yo, Zane, thank you so much. It's a bummer about those technical difficulties, huh? Hey, in the description, it says I guarantee them.
We're going to do it like now. We're about to order some.
Pizza?
Okay. 2 grammars. Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, thank you, Zane. Hey, when it comes to the Air Force Lords, not no more. When it comes to
I'll see you next time.
YouTube overlords,
Have a great day.
anytime I get connected with somebody, I consider it a huge victory because we try really hard to put on a good show that's worthy of your guys' time and attention. So I appreciate it. And how else do you get to know people in the real world? You talk to them. I don't even remember how me and Cultivator met, but man, I'm glad we did. I know it was alive somewhere. I know there's a live somehow, some way. He might remember. He might have a better memory than me. I wonder if you think he remembered he was on the call? He's just in the bathroom now playing with his phone.
All right.
Oh, hello?
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
no, you're good, man. We knew this going in. It allowed me to talk to the people a little bit. It was beautiful.
Excellent. But yeah, so that was like that's a typical customer.
Yeah.
Returning a lot of our customers are returning customers. It's kind of cool, man.
Oh, you're doing it right.
Yeah, they like to come back to and get usually the same thing. It's pretty cool. A lot of people have like the habits where they're buying like dabs or pre-rolls in the daily, or somebody just got off work and they come through every day to buy like a couple pre-rolls during happy hour, pun intended.
Yeah. Well, and that's where my dad, that's him, right? He's the guy that stops at the bar to have a beer before going home. Except instead of the bar, it's the dispensary to get a joint or whatever.
Yeah.
It just becomes a part of their tradition. So in this, do you remember the question before the customer? How did you
Kinda.
avoid the traditional, I'm a stoner and my life is lame because of it? What makes you so motivated to be successful while in a industry and consuming a product that has been demonized for, I mean, since the 50s with um, that congressman? I'm sure you know the history, but what does it? Like, what keeps you going to be
Medical
so
marijuana.
successful, man? That's it right there, huh?
I mean, it's a recreational thing here, but I'm so interested in the aspect that it actually helps people.
Oh,
Like I really like it a lot. And I live in a place where it's embraced in open arms. Like people love the culture here, not just the culture, but the whole aspect of it, the freedom of being able to, you know, uh, consume cannabis medically or, recreationally, if you will. Like either way,
yeah,
it's really cool to see people be able to have that freedom, now, and to be able to just walk into a dispensary and actually, you know, make a purchase, dude. So it's like
yeah.
I don't feel like we're being stereotyped as much anymore.
Oh,
The first time coming to a dispensary, it felt weird. Like it really did. Like
yeah,
years back, like walking in and like looking over my shoulder, like I felt, felt so weird. Like I'm like, what is going on here? But it's different now. It doesn't feel
yeah,
like that. It feels like it's not even in the same as I would consider going to like a liquor store. It's a completely different ballpark, and
yeah.
it's more you're more embraced, man.
So it's the
Uh,
acceptance instead of
Somebody
the
asked me if it's
shame.
my birthday.
Happy birthday.
No,
We
that's not my
sing.
birthday.
Oh, we sing birthdays here. And I love that because really, as the stigma was lifted, the truth about people who smoke came out, and they realized it's not a bunch of Cheech and Chong losers who don't want to do anything. And I love Cheech and Chong; they got a lot done. If you look at
Oh
the
yeah,
movies,
yeah.
like they were doing
Dude,
all kinds of stuff. Um,
John was just on our buddy Chad Westport's show, and he was on
no
Uncle Rick's show last
kidding.
year. Yeah,
Wow, that's a huge deal. That's so cool. What was
yeah,
the
it's pretty neat.
what was their show? Um, like
Uh,
just a
it was just like a talk show. Like Chad Westport does like an awesome talk show. He's a great dude. Yeah, another person
yeah.
I met through Hemp GG. He actually ended up giving some of his genetics away. I think for my first 100 subscribers. It was
Huh,
really cool. It was an
that's
honor.
so cool,
And not only that,
man.
but they arrived into the hands of a good buddy that, oh man, just a phenomenal grower, and ADHD, and the strain name was Nakatomi Plaza. Like, how
Oh my
could you
god,
not want to grow that?
that's so
Nakatomi
amazing.
Plaza.
You can't go wrong.
Yeah,
You got to hang from those ledges. I use Nakatomi
yeah,
a lot.
bro.
If you
Welcome to the
don't,
party, pal.
yeah, if you can't hang from a ledge for a little bit, you're doing yourself a disservice. You never know when you're gonna have to, man.
That's right.
So, is there a future of cannabis that you foresee yourself being a part of? And I like in
Man,
the, what does
yeah,
that look like?
definitely. In every direction too, like every aspect of it. Like what I mean, driven by it from the growing to like the hands-on bud tending to
Yeah.
going to going and pushing for signatures to
Wow.
legalizing it federally. Like, oh, I'm at it, dude. Let's go.
You're fully invested.
Get this rig rolling.
Huh. Wow. And
Let's
are
get
there
it going.
plans to use your social media or your uh to help gain those ends? Like to bring awareness for medical and to decriminalize, like you said.
I would love to, man. If I could be any sort of help for the movement to
Mm,
help, legalize this federally, like that would be great, man. Or to just
wow.
be a part of the growth of the positive aspect of the cannabis community, like you know, the hardcore driven folks that need to use it medically from those guys to like the people that just want to get off work and smoke a freaking joint.
For
Like
real. Freedom.
yeah,
Fuck's sake,
freedom.
man.
Yeah.
Freedom to smoke a
Like
plant that
I
grows out
support
of
it
the
all,
ground.
man, and I want to be a part of it in any way that I'm driven forward to it. I just kind of going with the flow, the positive vibe flow of it, man. Being all hippie about it, and
Yeah.
riding that wave.
I
You
love
know.
it. So on that wave top, you're looking down at a bunch of people who may not understand what weed is or have a negative opinion of it. What do you say for the people who need to hear the good that cannabis can bring to an individual?
It's been in our it's been here forever, man. Like whichever aspect you want to look at it, whichever argument, if you're a person of faith, like you could say it's there as well. I don't think there's anything negative about it. And if a person's going to have negative connotations about something, it's going to be kind of one-sided to it. But I feel it's going to get to the point to where the dams are going to break and
Yeah.
the information's out there, and the stereotypes of before are clearly like just BS. You know what I mean? Like, there's no proof of it being negative. In fact, we're seeing things now of the proof of the positive aspects of it, and it's like, I think it's getting to the point, like medically even, it's like get on it or back or get away.
Yeah.
Let it go. Like there's nothing that's gonna stop the community now, I believe. I mean, it's fully legal in Canada, man. Like it's 100% legal there.
And they
I think
just
that's
did
great.
mushrooms as well in Canada.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I live in a state where everything is decriminalized. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. True.
We're the only state that does that, I believe, like as far as I know.
I know Colorado just recently decriminalized, or essentially they brought it from you're screwed if you get caught with it to now it's like a misdemeanor that they don't really focus on. It's this weird place. It essentially allowed for study of mushrooms in Colorado.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're on the PTSD side of the mushroom legalization here in Colorado. And
oh man, there's microdosing, like yeah, that's a whole other show, man. There's like a whole bunch of aspects that could be, could be beneficial.
Yeah.
I think abusing anything could be, bad for you. Abusing anything.
Well, yeah.
Anything.
Well,
but
and I
there's
can
benefits to it. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Didn't mean to overtalk you.
Oh no, I was just saying there's benefits. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I'm actually one of the people, I used medical mushrooms, I'll call them, to be legal, but I used the fun mushrooms to actually help me with a lot of PTSD and that type of stuff with microdosing. And I can tell you, no medicine ever made me come to terms better with the things I was struggling with than the mushroom trip.
That's amazing.
Dude,
that's amazing.
I'm not a particularly spiritual person. I have no problem with anybody who is. But that's the closest I would ever say that I came to like having a spiritual
1 second. Sorry.
Yep. Moment.
How's it going, man?
I'll tell you guys now. Because I definitely had struggles when it came to mental health. I had some friends in the military commit suicide, and I know we're not supposed to say that word on it because we're supposed to pretend like it doesn't exist. But there's been some struggles that kind of broke my brain a little, and I was stuck in it for a long time, and I was smoking too much weed, and I was burying a lot of it down. And then I discovered the medicinal aspects of magic mushrooms. And I can tell you one thing that just really changed it all for me was I had to face those demons right in front of my face, y'all. And you just don't forget that kind of stuff. It's easy to put it away with liquor or pretend it's not there by being busy. But mushrooms take your face and shove it into it like a bucket of water. And the only way to breathe is when you come to terms with those demons. So mushrooms are crazy, man. It's they're not just for
anything from a microdose to a heroic dose, man. Those are two completely different spectrums of like, Well,
I did 3. So from what I understand, a heroic dose is 5. And I did 3 grams, and it felt pretty heroic to me, man. It was great, but it helped me face demons that I had to face ultimately.
Not only face them, but rip them apart, man. Yep. It gives you the courage to it's not just that gives you the courage, a lot of self-awareness or whatever. But yeah, man, that coupled with, some, I liked it. I haven't taken mushrooms for a little while, but I have a jar full. I'm just sitting there for a rainy day.
Just ready to go. Yeah. Well, to me, I don't really like the experience of mushrooms. Like seeing squid, like I saw a dragon in the snow and I was like, wow, that's really cool. But I have an amazing imagination already and I can do that without mushrooms. So for me, the recreational side of mushrooms.
It just enhances that.
Well, I don't really like it because it kind of takes the power away. But when I'm struggling and I need some peace in my very chaotic mind, that's where the mushrooms like sit me down like almost like a parental unit and honestly just make me listen to myself and
Yeah.
stop
Oh,
making
yeah.
a bullshit, man. And I don't know, mushrooms were wild, dude. And then the more I researched them, the more I learned about how they grow and like how they kind of live, and they're not technically like any other organism on the planet. And
Yeah, isn't that trippy? There's like a
it's-
lot to be said there.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Oh, I watched this weird rabbit hole thing about him, like, did mushrooms create humanity? I was like, holy, what the?
it's wild,
Yeah.
man. And then that
Yeah,
guy
there's some
who wears
interesting
a
aspects.
mushroom
Love it.
hat, whatever his name is, and the Portobello people are trying to kill him. But
Oh.
mushrooms are a whole nother show. So
Yeah,
I guess
whole
I
other
want to,
aspect.
where I want to leave it with you, my friend, is just what advice you have for the world and or people when it comes to you and or cannabis, or how we can do a better job. What do you got to say? And then I think that's where we're at.
Just a huge thank you for taking the time, man, to let me up here and talk and hang out. You're an awesome dude. I love the show. Please, everybody, check out Markus.
Yeah.
Give him a thumbs up. If you come from the THC, Hills Groves community, please smash the thumbs up. Show some love and give him a sub.
Yo.
Amazing dude. But yeah, man, just to folks out there that haven't embraced the cannabis culture, the cannabis community, please just look at it different.
Open your
I haven't
mind.
taken care of him yet.
Yeah.
Here, then 1 second.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I got a customer. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Customer comes first. And just exactly like he said, right, is don't be closed-minded. To have an opinion, you need to know information about the subject, right? Don't just let other
Right, yeah,
people's experiences
I would just suggest
determine yours.
both.
Yeah. I don't know if he's talking to me or the customer, but the point is like, don't let other people make your decisions for you. Have experiences to evaluate if it's good or bad for yourself. It's not up to the world to tell you weed is bad. It's up to you to understand why you may think it's bad or think it's good, right? Free your mind, mofos. Exactly. I couldn't have said it better, Bao.
And the rest will follow.
And the rest will follow.
Yeah.
You get to determine what your life is. Not the world, not the expectations, not the laws, not the, pants on the ground. So whatever,
Pants on the ground.
that guy made bad choices. Whoever lost his pants right there.
Yeah, whoever
Right?
lost their pants right there, like, bro.
So
Let's
free
think
your
through this
mind,
shit.
keep your pants on, and make sure that you say HappyCultivator is the legend that he is, because he puts on a show that I dream of having one day, and I'm blessed, and that's what a way to finish it. I am blessed to be able to have had you come on my show, share your knowledge, share your worldview, and honestly, man, I just thank you. I thank you for being here. I thank you for being you, because you make the world.
The thank yous to you, man. I feel equally blessed that you offered to do this. I appreciate you a lot, man.
I love it.
Heck yeah.
I love it so much. Well, Cultivator, from my heart to yours, thank you, man. And we will talk real soon, because I love what you have to say. All right?
Thank you, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes,
You rock.
sir.
You
Have
guys
a
check
great
out
one.
Markus.
We'll talk soon. Much love. Much love. Oh, man. That was so good. He is such a cool dude. He is such a cool dude. I just want to say thank you guys so much for being here. I know we had technical difficulties. It was a pain in the ass in the beginning. But hey, what do you want from me? I'm a man who has a problem with technology. It's a pain in the ass. But what I can tell you is that we love doing this. We love showing the world that there's many ways to think, there's many ways to live, and the only right way to do any of those things is what you think. So what I want you to do is go outside or go inside and find somebody to open up their minds. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being you. And I will see you on the next one. Much love, ladies. Bye-bye. Now's the time to say goodbye. It's short, so don't worry. Now's the time to say goodbye. It's short, so don't worry. MARKUS, the chicken army. Even with the stress, the truth is what you need. Markus, the chicken army. He's Markus, but you're the best. Forever we will hold our standards high. But before we have to say goodbye, I want you all to see MAR. You all have greatness within you. KUS. How do I know? Because I'm Markus. You're my family. Thanks for watching, y'all. Mwah.